All persons having business before the Honorable, the Supreme Court of the United States are admonished to draw near and give their attention. For the
Mr. Chief Justice, and may it please the court.
Your time is up now.
All rise and like, subscribe, and bang the gavel, baby.
It's time. There it is. We're in a courtroom with. By the way, we're the only ones watching. So.
I think we're alone now.
There's no objection.
Before we jump into it, we got a case. Myself, Credence, and Mikey, Eric. Good to see everybody jumping in. Remember, we try not to talk a whole lot during this. We could kind of get an idea of what's happening. We don't know what's happening. We've got a few lined up for you that we'll bounce around to. It's all live. That's why I said we don't know what's happening. So we got to get an idea of what's happening. All I know is Amanda has on a hairnet and she's not working in the kitchen. So I don't know.
In terms of the extension of the time for your diversion,
it's weird.
I feel like she may be serving lunch later for somebody.
Just put that in writing and submit that as an addendum to your original diversion agreement so that it's in the file.
You think she's Amish, maybe?
Maybe. I was kind of thinking that.
It's still your case. So
Amanda, Amish attorney at law.
I'm more than happy to allow.
What's going on with Alfredo over there?
On the court's calendar for another year, but the actual provisions of that are between.
Did he drop his phone in a bush?
That's what it's like watching. What's his name with the hobo?
Thank you.
When he tells stories from alongside the train tracks.
I encourage you, if you
Alfredo,
can, to go ahead and come to such agreements, regardless of whether.
I don't like these ones with the two cameras of the same thing.
Yeah, like we're getting too much exposure.
Like the agreement,
you can bring that up a little bit if you want.
Extended an additional year to give you all that additional time to comply.
He's cranked up,
and
I think he's it's always the judge that's too quiet.
Comply with the new extended provision, then you're still going to be able to get those charges dismissed.
Okay, thank you.
Jonathan, we'll definitely be doing it again. It was a great success. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely going to be more of that.
Everybody's and a lot of it was cool talking to everybody and the fun ones too. Very creative. I love it.
Yes, Your Honor. If we could next call Cameron Hughes. He's also been patiently waiting and is trying to get back to work. We appreciate everyone's patience.
All right, Mr. Hughes is on it.
Wow, look at that. Can we hurry up? He's got work to do. He's a working man.
Yes.
There you are. Good morning, sir.
How's he working at?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Hi,
right,
Cameron.
So, Mr. Hughes, you're on probation for this negligent driving first-degree charge, and one of the issues
he's hustling, man.
And he loves Spider-Man.
Address today is your compliance with the treatment requirement. So I'm going to ask Mr. McDonald if you have any updates.
Is that like a napping
yes, Your Honor,
sofa next to him?
Similar to something that was just.
Why is it Attorney McDonald's name says he/him?
Him. Because he's on Twitter.
He's been going
That's
to
what they say.
outpatient once a week for about 5 months now. He's expecting to graduate soon. It comes as a shock to him that that information was not turned into the court. We'd simply request that this be set over 30 days so he can bring that compliance in, or he can bring proof of compliance.
Michael Malloy roped us in last night.
Nah, he was good. He knows how to work it. Next Tuesday, Michael Malloy show. We're on it.
Avenue Northwest in Olympia.
Great.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Masasi, any objection to that?
Sassy.
No objection to that, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. No, Mr. Hughes, I'm confident.
They're boring, man. What's happening here?
And I assume it might mean doesn't have any mental health issues.
I think it should state defendant denies any mental health
Nice.
issues.
Yeah, beautiful hair.
Yes, that makes sense to me.
Okay.
Well,
Defendant denies any mental health issues. Okay. Got it. Now, anything further?
I believe it says here he doesn't have any mental health
Nothing
issues.
further with regard
No,
to the
it says he
guideline
denies having
for
any. Big difference.
She, her,
Okay.
it,
Um,
them,
and
Carol.
as to the sentence, Mr. Dobie?
Your Honor, I agree with the recommendation with 1 year in jail.
Agent
given the-
Marshall.
Ain't nobody effing
history
with Agent
of
Marshall.
the
I'm
defendant's
already scared
history.
of him, and we
Yeah.
have no business together.
That is in keeping with the agreement in this
Have you ever
case
seen this judge
and the
before?
guidelines.
No, but
corrected
I'm really
for what,
enjoying Michael. He's a very good artist.
former
He's done some
order, and
really
I
nice stuff
expected
there
them to
behind.
be.
Yeah, I
when we
mean,
entered
he's
that
come a
agreement.
long ways, Creed.
Yeah, I hope that
Okay.
Mad Cave's not here. He'd be a little bit
Mr.
jealous of that
Overwater.
artwork hanging on that wall.
Your Honor, I would ask
Very
the
man
court to
cave
sentence my
esque.
client to a year in the Washtenaw County Jail, but I would ask the court to suspend that sentence upon completion of the Dawn Farms program.
Dog
and the
Farms
MRT
program? Is that
in
what he
jail.
just said?
That's the
Yeah,
sentence
Dog
that he
Farms.
received on the misdemeanor case. So he's going to be in custody until he finishes those programs anyway. But I think it's appropriate for
I
him to be
like
released
that
after
Michael's
he's
got
done
some
that.
cans on. He's like, hold
because,
on.
My client, in addition
Carrie,
to
thank you
the
for the
issue
stars of the
that he
first
has
book.
with alcohol, has been very frank with me about anger issues he also suffers from.
Is
It
one
has
of them
come up in the
breathing
course
into
of
the
my
microphone?
representation of him. It's come
I'm
up in
just
the
wondering
course
that
of some
too.
of his other matters. And frankly, today, when I met with him at the jail, he demonstrated what I thought was just an extraordinary amount of insight
Penis.
into that. And it's insight that I think was very hard gained. He was
We'll be there,
very,
Michael.
very focused in the course of my representation. in
I
this
get
case.
vibes of being on
Other
Spy
cases,
Life from
trying to
LCF
maintain his
Hearing
job.
3 with the
Had that job at Farisha for 4
like
years.
we're in Manila.
And I think the court has seen
It
enough
is,
people, in front of it.
I don't
who
know
work
about
at
this
Farisha,
room he's
and I
in. What
know
is that
I've
there
never seen
above him?
anybody who had worked there for that long.
I have no idea.
He clearly was a valued employee there. He
Not
clearly was
good.
reliable, despite the issues that he had, and he really valued that job and the,
Kenneth Overwater.
I think the self-worth that he took from it, from
When you're in it deep,
having that
Kenneth
job for so long and doing
Overwater
well
is
there.
the
And
man
it's
to
really hard for
talk
him
to.
to face the reality that
Cole,
these
I don't
OWIs
blame you. I
were
just got up from my
costing
old
that
man nap.
job.
Hi,
He doesn't
Wang.
believe they'll hire him
Wang,
again.
what a
I hope
hit Wang
he
was
is.
last night.
That was
But
great.
regardless, today when we spoke, he was much more future focused on not only his ability to kind of rebuild his life once he finally gets out of jail,
It's so heavy breathing.
but he had a lot of insight into the work that he needs to do on himself.
I think it's Michael
on
up
forgiving
there.
himself for the mistakes
Hey,
that
Chuck.
he's made, and I'm learning to love himself again, which will only
A little
help him
self-love
manage his
don't
anger
hurt.
issues, and then obviously his substance abuse issues. So I think, and I know the court received and hopefully reviewed the social work assessment that was done. So I think the court has a pretty good impression of the kind of
Nancy,
person that Mr. Phillips is, as well
no
as the kind of person that he is
accent.
working to become. So I think once he's done the Dawn Farm and the MRT program here in the jail,
Yeah,
it's
dog
appropriate
farm.
for the court to allow him to get out of jail
It
and
can't
start
be.
working on
What?
the other things that he needs to do.
Are they
to
growing
rebuild his
dogs
life.
there?
Primarily, and what we talked about today
Bumper
was
crop of
individual
poodles
counseling.
coming in this year.
Mr. Phillips has
We've been watering
had
them.
anger management in the
Watering
past. He did not find those classes to be particularly helpful for him.
Okay, so we're talking about
He
Mr.
did
Phillips up
indicate to
there
me
at the
that-
top
that
left.
In past years,
They
he
do
has
have
engaged
dog
with
programs
individual
within
therapy, and
prisons.
he did find that to be helpful.
And
he
they say
hasn't
that
done
it can
in, I
help
think, about
both
6
dogs
years.
and people.
But he has, before he was taken into custody, he was
So it's like a
starting to look
therapy
into
dog
trying to find
type
that
thing.
same therapist again or find another
I
one.
think
So
they
he
bring
has
in
It's
an
a
interest in
living
doing that, and I
classroom. The
think that
students
will
are
be
responsible
the thing
for
that does
all
him the most
aspects of
good,
care
is
for the
going to
farm's
allow him
29 horses.
to move
this
forward in the best way and to protect the
dog
public in the
program
best way.
thing.
So I would ask the
Where's
court to
the
consider
dogs?
imposing that sentence with a condition that he engage
I thought you were
in
going to tell
either
me it was
individual
like
therapy
dogs
or
that had
some
been in
other
trouble
type
with the
of,
law too.
mental health treatment to
Like,
address
you know,
Dog
they're-
court coming
that
2023.
exacerbate his substance abuse problems.
this dog's been in trouble
Did
with
you
the
wish
law
to
since the day he was
respond, Mr.
born.
Dobie?
I don't
No,
think it's
thank you, Your Honor. I don't have any
it's saying
additional
something
information
we're
on
not
that.
understanding.
Okay.
I understand
and
this.
I understand
does
that.
anyone have any feeling for how long it would take to
Thank you,
complete?
Daniel.
That's a
both
big
the
one. We need
Dawn
that.
You
Thank
Farms
got better
and
ones than
Anchor-
old Michael.
Well, the MRT program
artist
is
would.
what's being
Yes.
recommended, and anger management. But you're saying the Dawn Farms in Jail program.
I'm saying that
Dawn
because number one, he's already been
Farms
ordered to do that as a
and
condition of
jail
his release.
program, I
I don't
think
want to add
Yeah, pit
another
bulls and
third
parolees. That's
class
what we got here.
to that list.
They keep them
because he's not
together
gonna be
when they
able to
get
do
out.
More than one at a time in the jail, and we don't know what's going to be available when. And additionally, my
Keith
client understands
Overwater,
that he has
tree
issues
trimming.
with anger and he has issues with
uh
his self-esteem and self-worth. I don't believe those are going to be addressed in the anger
dawnfarm.org.
management class. I think the
Brad
appropriate
coordinates Dawn Farm
avenue
substance
for that
use
for him
treatment
is individual
programming in
counseling
partnership with
therapy, and
the
he agrees. So I would ask the court to replace the anger management class with
County Sheriff's Office.
some form of mental health and or
Dawn Farms.
individual therapy
Okay, we figured it
once
out.
he's released. But then it may still be a condition that he do the.
I
Dawn
still
Farms
like the one
program
where we're turning
for
them
no
into
other reason than he's going
cowboys,
to have to do it to secure his release on the misdemeanor
taking care of
matter anyway.
horses, and
True.
he comes out with a lifelong
Okay,
love for
so,
horses.
Mr. Phillips, is there anything that you'd like to
Phillips?
tell me before I impose sentence?
Yes, Your Honor,
Uh-oh.
man. Through this ordeal, made me take a long look in the mirror at myself and
Why
figure
they all
out,
creed framing?
how can I recreate myself in my life? I understand, the severity of my drinking, and that I made a terrible mistake.
Oh, so we're gonna find out what he gets
Of me
sentenced to.
continue to drink.
think so, yeah.
Also driving. And I'm just blessed today that I'm here. I still
People
have
get
an
religious in
opportunity
jail.
to go on with myself
Very.
because the road I was leading myself on, no telling what the outcome would have been. So I'm just, grateful for the opportunity.
I like Larry.
Thank you. Well, I have reviewed
Larry
the
seemed genuine.
pre-sentence report as well as the social worker assessment that you provided,
Time
Mr.
served.
Overwater.
Let him out.
And in terms of a goal for probation, would you agree that
April, thank you for the
it
fake
might be
stars on that.
appropriate that the goal
We'll take
be
those.
to address Mr. Phillips' anger issues and benefit from substance abuse treatment?
Make sure you guys like this video. That helps us out a lot. And
Yes,
share
Your
it
Honor.
if you're on Facebook.
Okay,
It
so
does.
that
We
will be the
appreciate the
goal of
likes and
your
the shares.
probation, Mr.
100
Phillips.
likes on last night's show, by the way.
On
That's awesome.
count one, operating while intoxicated
go.
or impaired by a controlled substance as a third offense felony.
Ooh.
I am sentencing you to 3 years probation,
Oh,
subject to a number of special conditions. You must not use or possess alcoholic beverages.
that was his
and
third
or
offense for that.
She cranked up. The judges are always a little bit low.
You
I'm
must
sorry.
comply with any testing and treatment requirements and any assessments of any sort when you're directed to.
I lied.
You
Mikey was
must
riding it
use
low.
prescription drugs only as prescribed for you.
Mr. Overwater was very loud.
And your client is
you.
in AANA or CA, correct?
Not for
I don't know if he's currently attending meetings at the jail, but Mr. Phillips, do you have an objection to AA, NA, or CA meetings?
No, sir.
Okay.
Is that like
If you're
a
going to get
AA?
serious about your sobriety, you really need
I would
to get a
imagine so. Yeah,
sponsor.
inside.
So you need,
I have one.
oh, good, okay. You must attend AA, NA, or CA meetings at the frequency directed by your agent. And I am ordering that you perform the 480 hours of community service as directed by your agent. I think that
That seems like a lot, no?
That's a
the
lot.
recommendation of probation to complete the MRT program
Especially if he
in
has a
jail
job.
and the anger management program in jail would both be beneficial for Mr. Phillips. So I am going to require that he do that. You must not engage in any assaultive, abusive, threatening, or intimidating behavior. You must allow the field agent into your residence at any time for probation
There we go.
supervision and submit to a search of your person and property, including but not limited to your vehicle, residence, and computer if the agent has
Maybe.
reasonable cause to believe that you have
Great.
items that would violate the conditions of your probation. You must report any arrest or police contact, loss of employment, or
Yeah.
change of residence to your
No.
agent within 24 hours, weekends and holidays accepted. Now, I was confused if you want 12 or 13. I don't know if you could address that, Agent
What's that mean?
Marshall. Not drive a motor vehicle without permission or not drive a motor vehicle.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I think the appropriate one would be to keep 12 and delete 13.
Okay.
And I'm not
We just
sure,
didn't hear them right,
Your
Gooch.
Honor, I'm not sure if he has
We messed
some
up.
type of suspension or revocation on his driver's license. But that's usually where that comes out of.
Third
But
offense,
for
man.
sure,
That's
13 could be deleted, Your Honor.
Okay, so let's take out.
Like Terminator
13
says, kind of
and you're
surprised
not
no jail
drive
time. I mean, he's got
a
quite a
motor
sentence with the
vehicle Unless, of course, you
probation,
first have
a
a
lot of-
valid
you gotta do a
license
lot.
and get written permission from your agent.
I mean, we did
You
miss how
must
long he's already
maintain
been in.
legitimate employment
That's
for a
true.
minimum of 30 hours per week.
Good point.
You must serve.
You can't make
the
an
first
employer give
year
you 30
in the
hours.
Washtenaw County Jail with credit for 57 days served. However, I would allow you to be released to inpatient substance abuse treatment after you complete the MRT and anger management programs, and a minimum of 6 months. And the reason I think the inpatient substance abuse treatment would be beneficial.
Look at
It's
Michael.
The ultimate recommendation from Ms. Williams, the public defender social worker. So inpatient substance abuse treatment. You must pay $68 state cost, crime
Welcome,
victim assessment of $130.
I always find these fines very low.
I'm not imposing the supervision fee. You
And
must
most
pay
of them
court
say
costs
why,
of
because it's taking money away
$300,
from the
a
family.
fine of
usually.
$500, an attorney fee of $100. And unfortunately, you have a community corrections balance that has added up to $1,432 as of January 10th of this year. So
Those
you'll need
little
to
ones
pay
all
that
add up,
as well.
Mikey.
You must
Mm,
not
my
use or
goodness.
possess any
Hey, Roger.
weapons or ammunition. And you must comply with vehicle immobilization for a minimum of 1 year. And then on count
Jesus.
2,
Can I just go to
fleeing a
jail for
police
30 days,
officer
please?
Yeah, can we
fee
just
under
figure
the
something
motor
else out?
vehicle code, the same terms and conditions. However, I'm
Or to go ahead and
only
put one of those old blowy
imposing
things in his
a
car?
2-year
Yeah, I think
term
she
of
just said that.
probation for count 2. May be eligible for early discharge from your probation once you've completed 1/2 of the original probation period and all required programming. Probations may notify the court of your eligibility, and if they don't, and if you haven't violated probation in the immediate preceding 3 months, you can notify the court that you may be eligible for early discharge.
It seems
on
that way,
State
that they are
Court
kind of making them pay
Administrative
back
Office Form
some of
MC
his costs.
512. You're entitled to file an application for leave to appeal from your conviction and sentence. If you
Dude,
can't
seriously.
afford an
I'm not
attorney,
even
one
kidding
can
you.
be
I would say
appointed
to
for
the
you.
judge, can I please go to jail? 90 days even.
If you do want appointment of.
Oh my God.
You must file
What
the
are they
request
doing
for
over
that
there?
within 42 days of today's sentencing.
There's got to be somebody
How
off
would
camera
that
we can't
form
see that's doing
translated
shit.
to
So,
the
yeah.
client, Mr. Overwater?
All right, I will mail that to him at the Washington
That's
County
pretty
Jail.
steep.
But
I
I would
mean,
ask the
but
court,
again, third
just as a
time
point of
being arrested for the
clarification,
same thing.
because Mr. Phillips will not be released from custody until he's completed the Dawn Farm inpatient program in the jail. That was the condition of his sentence on his misdemeanor. So it's the court's intent that he, after he does that,
We're
the
not
MRT
sure.
adds substitutes, then he
Something
does
bad, I
residential
presume.
treatment somewhere
Yeah,
else. upon
he
being
did some
released
drunk
from his
driving. He's got some
Yeah,
anger issues.
Recommendation of Brittany Williams on her assessment sheet, the final sentence in her report on page 4, this worker asks that the court consider inpatient treatment for Lawrence as an alternative to incarceration. I am imposing the incarceration and giving him a chance to work through the issues that he has. I wasn't aware, and she didn't mention in her report, that he is going to be doing Dawn Farms for a different offense.
I mean, you got
Did
so
you
many
have any
things coming
thoughts
down on
this,
him. It's
Mr.
almost like you're
Dobie?
giving him a rope to, to screw up.
Your Honor,
to go back to jail anyways. There's so many things.
But again, that might be the whole reason for it.
It does seem a little bit
forcing him to stay straight and narrow on all
duplicating
Right, which I
aspects.
get.
Dawn
I
Farms in
understand
jail
it.
and then an inpatient. I think
There's so many working parts on this one. It's very
Dawn
confusing.
Farms in jail is to go to outpatient.
And I would agree, Your
Be
Honor.
careful,
That's what I
too.
think it is.
Very addictive.
Okay, so why don't we do this, that if he doesn't complete the Dawn Farms in jail program, then he would have to do inpatient treatment, but if he completes it, then he wouldn't.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay,
Need to
good luck
drink
to you,
after
Mr.
this.
Phillips.
Okay, what about, can y'all waive my fees for that tether? Because that seems like it's a lot of money for a person, getting out of jail with no income.
With
You know what I mean?
500
It's like,
hours of community service and 30.
That's like over $2,000 I got to pay.
Good point. Yeah, remember
And then
keep in mind it's a third.
and plus do 460 hours of community service.
Well,
Like,
they did put in a lot of.
How long do you get to
effort
do
on
that?
your behalf, Mr.
Yeah.
Phillips. And I
400
keep
hours.
you
Is that
out of
within a
jail
year or
until
within
you
Or
stop
over the
complying.
term
3
of
years?
the
I agree
probation,
with
yeah.
Mr. Overwater
Okay.
that you probably are going to get rehired by Ferencia. So I am going to continue with that assessment.
How does she know that?
well, what about the 460
Great
hours?
question.
How I'm gonna do that?
Oh, you're
and
probably
do
gonna
the
get rehired.
460 hours
She's
of
on the
community
board.
service?
480 hours is mandatory.
Oh, okay.
I have no choice. The legislature
She's
says if
trying
you're
to-
convicted of third
Little
offense drunk driving, that's the choice.
okay.
Or you could go
Third
to
offense
prison
drunk
for a
driving.
year. Would you prefer that?
Ooh,
Just
ooh.
scrap all
You
of
just said
this
it.
and do prison for a year? 1 to
A
5
Year,
now?
Creed.
No, damn.
I'll
Would
do
you
whatever
rather do a
want.
year in prison, Creed? Would
I was
you do
thinking
that?
90 days in the hole.
We're not bargaining. Yeah, this isn't a bargain thing.
No.
We're not-
Thank you, Your Honor.
Shut him down.
The year would have sucked.
Let's check
But that's
in
a,
on.
that's a lot of hours. A lot of hours.
14A stands adjourned.
Uh-oh. We going? We leaving? We gone? Yep.
Wow, the
Great
judge had
timing, Creed.
A beautiful,
Your Honor,
beautiful
we
shirt.
resolved Mr. Brandt's question. He is ready to proceed to sentencing.
Okay, is that correct, Mr. Brandt?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you've had
That's who was
sufficient
doing it,
time
Mr.
to consult
Brandt, you
with your
son of a
counsel?
bitch.
Mr. Brandt.
Okay.
Making all that noise.
So I think I heard from both
Court.
counsel, and I was just asking Mr.
I
Brandt
am.
if he wanted to tell me anything before I impose sentence. Is that correct?
That's my memory. Mr. Brandt, would you like to say anything at this time?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, there is a sentence agreement in this case, and I am going to follow
third
it.
time. I
It
didn't realize
is very tragic that as a result of
Time
your
for a
actions,
DUI.
Mr. Brandt, Ashley Beers died, and her family and friends have been deprived of her society and companionship. And I did note in reviewing your pre-sentence report that
Somebody got
this was
killed.
not the first time that you had a conviction involving manufacture or delivery of a controlled substance. So on count one,
drugs.
delivery of a controlled substance causing death, I am sentencing you to 6 years to 20 years with the Michigan Department of Corrections with credit for 1,458 days served.
Ouch.
And that should be concurrent with the federal sentence, correct, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yes,
Sure,
Your
that's
Honor,
kinda-
this happened before that.
You see, does it say anything? Wait, is he?
And
No.
you must pay $68 state cost, crime victim assessment of $130.
So do you think he sold drugs that ended up killing someone?
And if
think so,
restitution
yeah.
is requested, and you don't agree upon an amount, counsel, you can request a restitution hearing. And I'm not imposing an attorney fee because you're privately retained counsel. You're entitled to file an application for leave to appeal from your conviction and sentence. If you can't afford an
6 to
attorney,
20
one can be appointed
years.
to you for purposes of appeal. However, the request for appointment of appellate counsel must be filed within 42 days of today's sentencing. And how will you transmit that form to your client, Mr. Guerin?
Your Honor, I'm going to mail him a copy as well as provide one to his
Yeah,
parents.
I'm not sure.
Okay, good luck.
It's the
to
guy
you, Mr.
off
Brandt.
camera. Yeah.
Thank you, Your Honor.
He was
You're
on the
welcome.
phone. I guess he's already
Okay.
he's already been locked up for over 1,000 days.
That's what I was thinking, Haley, something
21,312
fentanyl was.
That's
I'm
terrible.
not sure what's happening over here, but we just had a picture of a bailiff, but
Judge nobody.
I wanted to pop over here really quick though and say I love this camera right here.
Yeah, that's kind of like the one I have over here of they've been moving people in and out really fast.
Oh yeah, that we must be in the same vicinity there, huh?
Yeah, that's Judge Reeves and we're in Judge Stevens. But look at this cast of characters we just brought in.
Nice. Let's
We'll be
stick with
proceeding
that.
to that trial date.
Does
Mr.
Ryan
Knapp?
have a shirt with his name on it?
Okay, and as I understand it, you are now the only case set for trial that day. so
Ill-fitting
be
suit.
prepared to go.
When we get done with the ill-fitting suit, I've got Judge
Honor,
Kim,
we
and I also want
spoken
to
his
play
news.
that thing that you
We
sent
have
me
a potential
today
witness
about Judge
who
Kim.
is in California and is willing
I feel
to
like if he
appear
grabs the collar of that
remotely.
suit and does like this, the whole thing
And,
just falls
we're
down.
discussing
Like,
with Ms. Hughes whether she
fall
would
away suit.
object. It would be a character.
This guy a
witness,
comedian?
an
Is he getting ready to tell jokes?
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen.
We'll have to have a couple more discussions about that
David,
before I can make an
not.
agreement. Thank you.
The court certainly has no
Creepy
objection
smile
to witnesses
David.
appearing by Zoom. I think that helps keep everyone safe and healthy. So if you can work out those.
Bye, Melody. Thanks for
arrangements,
stopping
that's
by.
fine with me, but I understand.
Good to see you,
two need
Melody.
Agree on it first.
Glad you understand,
Thank
Melody.
you.
Enjoy your
Anything
room by
further
yourself.
for today?
Oh, Lord.
I just want to confirm
I
what
like
we
Melanie.
discussed last time, that the mom and the friend who she spoke to on the evening of the alleged offense are not going to be called as witnesses in the case in chief.
So Mr. Knox's office has sent me an email. Mr. Knox was supposed to prepare a stipulation and order following our motion hearings a couple months ago. They followed up with me today and said, are these the people you intend not to call? And I said, oh, it's been a while. Can you send me a copy of that transcript? So I just got that.
His
I don't
shirt
believe
says
any of these
Ryan
people are
on
my
it.
witness list, though.
He's a
So
big
that should
fan
be a
of
straight
himself.
answer to that question. But I'll review the transcript and get back with Mr. Knox as soon as possible.
We ordered the transcript and we didn't want to draft.
What do you mean you don't have
we had
the
a copy of
money?
the
Eh?
transcript. We just got the transcript, and it's unfortunately it's not quite as clear as it was in my head. So this was my-
Shirley, thank you for the stars on the Facebook.
We're getting along, Your Honor.
Okay, well, that helped. And if you could, review exhibits beforehand,
is
and if you can
stone-faced.
stipulate to any
I think he just has
admission,
boxers on
of
underneath.
exhibits, all
Oh,
those
yeah.
foundational
Like
things
no
that
pants.
sometimes
Yeah, no pants.
slow down a trial, that would be helpful. So how many days do you think you'll actually need for trial?
For my case in chief, I can't imagine me taking more than 2 days. And then Mr. Knock, I actually believe, has more witnesses than I do.
Your Honor, do you run half days
Is this
or
a
full
game?
days?
Who has more
Well,
witnesses?
Monday and Tuesday would be full days. Wednesday.
Who is Rayon
I'm
Reed up
pretty
there?
much out unless I can get somebody else to cover
Not
my
Rayon,
morning
but
mental
Ray
health
they
Vaughn
docket, so
Reed.
don't count on
It changed
that.
There we go.
It just
Ray
changed.
I'll
Vaughn
see
Reed.
about that, if needed. Thursday
whole
would just
point.
be
I
in the
mean,
mornings, but I could
gotta
run pretty
explain to
Welcome
close
to our
to
channel.
when I start
World
this
works.
docket.
Watch it yourself.
Maybe we could go until
By yourself
1.
in a
And
room.
then Friday, you should have all
What to
day,
tell you.
Your Honor,
if need be.
if we finish on Thursday, would you let the jury sit Thursday afternoon?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I would
Ray
just
Vaughn's
see
doing
if
his
any
hair.
questions
Judge really
that
thought that was a
come
good
up
idea.
intermingled
Oh, we're
with
doing
my
hair.
docket.
Yeah. See that?
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
So how many days do you
The whole
expect
point
for
of the
your
show, the whole
portion,
point of the
Mr.
channel. I
Knapp?
would.
Well,
Otherwise, why have a channel?
how long, Mr. Knapstad? We're intending on calling Mr. Knapstad. And how long?
Well, we
he
should
takes
probably
to
do
stand
what
depends in
your buddy
part
Mikey
on
does.
what happened in the case in chief.
Steal it. Put it
We
up.
have
Do nothing.
the roommate who was present that evening. I don't think he's very long. And if we can work out these character
I would hire
witness and
David.
possibly another one.
Seems
we'll
like
have
a cool
couple of
guy.
very brief character witnesses.
Oh, I bet he's a lot of fun.
Am I skipping anybody?
No.
And I love that he
No.
stands up too.
All right.
I like that.
So,
Respectful.
my style tends to be pretty fast moving and efficient. I don't
Ooh.
like boring
He's
juries.
talking about his love making.
It
And
took
I'm
me.
sure they
it took-
appreciate it.
It took me years to learn it, but I'm getting there.
Judge really likes him.
Okay.
Look at her
I think
eye.
he really likes
Okay,
the judge
so,
too.
I think
bond
that-
conditions continue to apply, Mr. Knapstead, and you need to be at the court promptly on March 7th by 8:30.
Oh, my
'cause
birthday.
That's when we get started.
So
Oh, I
Understood,
don't
Your
know.
Honor.
I don't know how many other jury trials are going in the courthouse besides ours. I should say, you're my only jury trial. So that one little caveat.
Are
Your
the-
Honor,
is there
jail,
only
I
2 at a
think, now.
time happening these days or more than 2?
It just depends on what they are and how many jurors they need. This
I like
is
that he
not a
gets a,
capital
laser,
case.
that if
We
he gets
could
out of
run this
line,
one
they
with
zap 'em.
another capital case. We probably could not run 2
Like that idea.
capitals plus this, but I don't know. It just depends on how good our juror response rate is.
Your Honor, with voir dire, will you ask questions initially and then
Yes.
we ask?
Yes.
And then you alternate in terms of who goes? Sometimes Ms. Hughes goes
All right.
first and
I'll tell you what. I like
Well,
David.
we're
I
going to
like
take
this
turns,
judge.
David.
Always go first.
I want to move on because we're not going to get
Move
anywhere.
on.
I usually
We're
call
talking
on
about
the
a
prosecutor.
big case here. I want to go over to Judge Kim, who we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, just going into session. I like
There
that.
is a lot going on here on the screen. You can bask it all in.
Ray Hall Jr.
I am going to check traffic and weather together. I'll be on.
All right. How did that do?
Security camera.
All the way up, and I got you.
Wearing the clothing described.
And the minute I walk out of here, it's going to be real loud. Remember?
That's fine. I'll scream over top of it. Don't worry. That's what Melanie likes for me to do, anyways.
These kids with gun crimes, you know how I feel about them.
All right. So a lot of these are juvenile detention
Yes, Mr.
people. If you've never
All right,
been in this courtroom,
He's been level 1 outstanding since February 1st, I believe. He has a psychological coming up, and I'm concerned that he's below
Crazy.
average functioning. He's done really well His mother is very, very, very responsible. I communicate with her at will. I would ask the court to consider these factors.
Glad you
And
enjoyed
also,
it,
if I could
Joseph.
throw in, I realize it's another court. A couple of weeks ago, he was on the verge of being released and encouraged by Judge Terry that if he could keep his level up, he would likely get released. But I
So
realize
level up.
that's
So typically these are juvenile offenders who
Yes, I
have
think my
they'll
note.
be coming before the judge.
Now he
Their parents may be in the courtroom.
Porter had the hearing with
different
me
things.
2 weeks ago on the 4th. He had an infraction that turned out to be pretty uneventful, but it did cause him to lose a level or at least get it noted.
Real quick, if you want to be scared to death, that's the guy in the room there. Yeah. Judge Kim about to rule. There's a news story that we're going to watch here in just a
Is
few
the mom here?
about Judge Kim.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, that was
Where's she at?
Fisher.
Where's Miss Fisher at? Oh, there she is on the very top.
So do you know these? Well, first of all, let me ask. Miss Remington?
Judge, I'm here for Mr. Remington. This is Terry Howe.
Okay, Miss Hall. So the other suspects, Jose, the adult or juvenile?
I believe he is a juvenile.
The most dysfunctional one of all.
What about Jamie or Jaime, adult or juvenile?
Jaime.
Oh no,
Yes, that does say that.
that was a Jaime.
Oh, that's right. Well,
Yeah, that's 96.
The Jaime is broken. Cozy Mathis, by the way, Nigel. Cozy Mathis. There's a few people that scared me on here.
oh, so Dumas was the only three. I'm sorry. So Jamal was the only of the three that was caught.
It was a little more serious. We've had people in here with capital murder cases. Scary, right?
What time of day did this happen? At 6:15?
Mhm.
That's when they responded. That was the time of the offense.
Oh, is it really Windy City? Oh, that's not
Yes, it was in the late afternoon. Early evening, late afternoon.
with a nice Chianti. Oh, well, look, she would be proud of you. So proud. Can't use my computer or post on Facebook, huh? There's no comment bar. Well, that's not good.
I got one.
Maybe you need to send stars or make a donut. Oh, look at that. Empty courtroom.
Yeah, hold on. I wanted to fix something over here. It's annoying me. Okay, there we go.
Did you see?
And no, you don't. Don't listen to Mike. You don't have to do that. Facebook is
awesome. Facebook is
weird.
great.
They've changed things where you got to pull up the comments. By the way, if you like swipe over the comments and then
half the time I can't figure out Facebook with different.
Mike, if you can pull up that news thing, since I'm got him up.
Put you on electronic monitor. You're also to enroll in school. If you're not enrolled, the next 7 days, then we're going to go ahead and issue a warrant.
And Glenn, thank you for
Okay?
calling in. That was
Yes,
fun
sir.
talking to you too.
Oh, it was very good. I was happy to hear from everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, Judge.
Yeah, no court. President's Day. Emily has to work though. I was kind of surprised. I thought she'd have off.
Yeah, her being government.
It's not. Yeah, Glenn, you need to start up. You there, like that.
Told you.
Much better over on YouTube.
The YouTubes.
Be out there talking about it.
Make sure you like this if you haven't already done so. Share. We cover live court cases 5 days a week now.
Chases and cases, 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Except for Monday, because it's a
It's
holiday.
President's Day.
All right, Caleb. Is
Caleb.
here? Yes, sir. I'm Judge Kim. Does that
Where's
change?
your 2-foot girlfriend,
Been
Caleb?
here for 10 days, so I'm deciding whether to keep you or to release you. If I keep you, you'll see a judge every 10 days.
That was
while
a
you're
90-day
here. You have
fiancé
the right
joke,
to be
by the way.
silent. You have a right to attorney. You've appointed Raymond as your attorney. Raymond Daniel, are you? There you go.
I'm here, Judge. Thank you.
Good to see you.
You too.
What the hell's Ray so mad about?
I don't know, but he's happy to see him.
Here for almost 90 days.
Ray has very thick
Registered white male.
beard.
Yeah, I think it's crooked too.
Suspect gave the name of Ryan Jimenez.
It's really
but didn't know how to
I
spell
think
his
it got
last
blown this way when he
So
came
you
in.
consent to search.
Does
Found
that
out
look off?
your name on it.
He could like shuffle it around.
It's crooked.
Victim is your adopted mom. Said she was threatened by a knife.
Not
Said
the
that
knife.
you were using your phone inappropriately.
What? Using your phone inappropriately.
What does that mean?
Looking at the porn.
Do we have a parent here?
Watching
Yes,
one of
I'm-
Lisa's OnlyFans videos.
So have you been able to talk to
That Lisa
Caleb
down there, not
while
our
he's been here?
Lisa.
Yes, he calls me about twice a week.
Hold on.
See
Lisa's
a
calling.
change, Caleb?
He's acclimated to where he is, following the rules and participating like he should.
Lisa's on the phone.
All right, but do you see a change in Caleb?
Tell her we'll make no more porn star.
No, I
jokes.
know he's not going to change.
Okay. So
Wow. No faith in the kid. Oh, he's not going to change. Yeah,
at
he's
this
gonna-
point, I'm not comfortable with him staying here. I think we may need to refer this back to CPS. Did he come from CPS before you
No.
talked to him?
No.
Well, I'm sorry, Judge. I may have answered the question. I didn't think you were asking. If I could just let Miss Haley answer that, maybe. I don't want to confuse it.
Ms. Haley, how did Caleb come into your life?
He was adopted in 2011. It was a matched adoption. He was in there with his siblings.
All right, let's jump over to this.
He was in what care?
So
Foster.
Mikey found this. This is pretty interesting. It'll be interesting to see your thoughts on this in the chat
Spent
as
his
well.
Statements about rap culture and criminal behavior. Judge Alex Kim made the remarks to the mother of a 16-year-old defendant during a court hearing. Fox 4's Deion Anglin joins us with a closer look at what the judge said. Deion.
Well, Clarice, juvenile court judge Alex Kim presided over the hearing, which was May 24th. And since then, it has been the subject of conversation and criticism.
Police said while you were being escorted, you made a statement that you had a gun in your backpack. Inside the
Pee-pee.
car, they found a 9mm pistol.
The Zoom court hearing was for a 16-year-old defendant at Tarrant County's juvenile detention facility in Fort Worth. We are not showing the defendant or his mother in the video posted to the court's YouTube channel. District Court Judge Alex Kim, at one point, encouraging the youngster who wanted to make statements to remain quiet.
I'm just trying to protect you here. Okay, we have a DA, a prosecutor that's listening to things. And I don't want the prosecutor to get too much information about you. Okay.
The discussion turns to the circumstances of the arrest. The judge saying the juvenile was in possession of a gun as a passenger in a stolen car being pursued by police.
I'm not worried about you being the passenger of a stolen car as much as I am about you having a gun on you. That's my worry.
The teen's mom then mentions he's an aspiring music artist who was leaving a studio with others he knew. It is this section that got
The basement,
attention
who's leaving
after it
that
posted to a Reddit forum.
This is the situation happened when I let him go to the studio. He gets in the car with somebody else and all of this happens.
All right. So, Mom, I've got to ask, when you say music, it's like rapper?
Yes, rap and sing.
Mom, you and I are not surprised if your son is rapping and gets caught in a stolen car with a gun and goes in a car chase, right? I mean, that's we can kind of predict that's going to happen.
Just because he do rap music?
Well, the culture, right? I mean, it shouldn't surprise you.
We asked Bob Ray Sanders, a former member of Fort Worth's Race and Culture Task Force, to watch the hearing and give us his take. He believes the comments were racially insensitive and out of line.
Certainly have the right to admonish people who come before their bench
I don't
if
know.
they think that that helps with changing behavior or whatever. They don't have the right to stereotype. And that's what this judge did.
I spoke with Judge Kim over the phone. He disagrees that his remarks were inappropriate and drew a distinction between rap music and what he described in the hearing as elements of violence in rap culture. He told me, I think everyone recognizes the difference between rap and rap culture, and the community has standards by which it expects their judges to keep them safe. Sanders is also critical of another part of the conversation.
Let's put it this way. If he's singing in a church choir, do you think it's a realistic ending for him to be caught in a stolen car with a gun on a car chase from the police?
Prisons are filled with people, not only who sang in the choir, but who were in the pulpits of churches. So the church doesn't.
He kind of put his foot in his mouth.
From a crime.
He should,
and what this judge has to understand, America has changed in the last 5 years, and certainly within the last year after the George Floyd killing. Yes, be tough if you want to be a tough judge.
You just say George Ford.
Be critical if you want to be that kind of a judge.
I misspoke.
I believe it was Floyd.
But do not stereotype.
Now, we should point out the outcome of the hearing on that day. Judge Kim released the teen to the custody of his mother, a decision that was more lenient than with defendants in his court of other ethnicities on that docket.
All right. Again, what does that have to do with the ethnicity of the other people on the docket? Come on now. He definitely put his foot in his mouth.
Yeah.
But we notice a lot of these judges like to talk, and he probably said too much. He just kept going and talking too much. Show your W-2s.
The warrant for the captain.
When did he come in on the violation?
Look at that.
Thought that was an interesting story.
It is definitely interesting. It gives you an idea.
Came back
with these Zooms being like this now, man.
It's true.
Scrutiny, you gotta be a little more careful.
Fourth PD arrested you. Judge Wynn signed a arrest warrant.
Do I think he was being racist? No, I think he was just being stereotypical about some stuff that he probably shouldn't have.
Hey, that's part of being a little more
Let's look at the warrant.
outspoken and trying to help a situation. I understand where he's coming from, but it easily can be taken that way, and I understand that.
Is that this? Oh, no, the other one is the flats apartment.
Real quick, Credo, once you see a cast of characters that has developed over here.
Yeah.
Real fast.
Just wait till your case is jump anyway.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Stuart Cox on behalf of Mr. Smith on the CSC case that's up before you as well.
Okay.
Wow.
So
now we see
Mr.
something being done
Bernstein
wrong
isn't
already, Creed.
representing
Ceiling
Mr.
fan.
Smith on these cases.
No go. No bueno.
Right. Okay. So
Is that Ashley's
do you
house there?
wish to
Where
proceed,
Brian's at?
counsel?
Or is it
Yes.
Stoney's?
Judge, this is a point of order. I was
Stoney's
retained
place.
on a case ending in 5097, and I was recently retained on the case is currently being handled by Mr. Collis. If we could place that case
Hey,
number,
Jennifer.
on the record, so I can
Jennifer
make sure I
Tink.
file the appropriate appearance, on the appropriate file. That'd be appreciated on my end.
Okay.
Does anybody
so
feel like Michael up
then
there might have
Mr.
killed somebody?
Collis.
One moment, please, because I have not received a substitution from Mr. Sinclair. But
I have not
Hey, there's Lewis Smith / Thomas.
I have not received one. Again, so as I said, I'm happy to sign it when I receive it. And let's see the case number, and I just received the preliminary exam transcript. Which one moment.
Scatting all of a sudden.
Correct. That's case. Thank you. I only had the district court number, so which is the 1714. Yeah. So.
I'm surprised Stuart doesn't have a
And
blur
Mr.
behind
Collis,
him.
would you agree
James.
for my office to sign your name, or would you like the substitution sent to your office?
No, as long as you send in the substitution, we don't care. So if you're gonna take over, I'll bow out today, and I'll wish Judge O'Brien a happy day, and see you on another case.
Okay.
Oh,
Take
wow.
care.
Everybody loves
Yeah.
to hit on the judge.
Okay,
popular with the
so
boys.
now counsel, how do you wish to proceed on your respective cases, Mr. Sinclair?
Yes, ma'am. So it's my understanding that Mr. Smith wants to go to trial on the case that I originally had from exam, the case ending in 5097. However, I was
Michael.
recently retained on the other file and I don't have the discovery or the exam transcripts. So I would need time to receive that information and get up to speed in order to
He
make
looks
a
like he doesn't
determination
mind
as
at
to
all.
direction on that file.
Okay, so you would like to adjourn this pre-trial on those cases for how long?
If the court would allow 3-4 weeks, maybe.
Okay,
5,
and
2
Ms.
months,
Tink?
whatever.
Month,
That's
6
not a
months,
problem with the
to a year.
people.
Okay, 4 weeks would take us to, I believe, March 17th.
Damon,
I got 1 second to check the calendar here.
you're not the only one that thinks that, by the way.
You think she's naturally
March
curly like that, or
17th
is that a
at 1:30?
perm?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Great
that works
question.
for
She
me.
just said yes.
That's
so.
good for the people.
That really doesn't.
Okay, so we'll adjourn those 2 cases to March
Brian may be one of my
17th
new
at
favorite people.
1:30, and Mr.
Brian,
Overwater, as to your case.
What do you do? What do you do? Profile. Let's judge. What do you think?
I would ask for the same date.
Oh,
I expect
he
that
stole something.
My case will not be a difficult one to resolve.
Inappropriate
Don't
use of a
believe that
phone.
Mr. Smith's going to want to go to trial on my matter. It
Maybe.
seems relatively cut and dry. It's an older case. The facts are alleged from 2019. So I expect if Mr. Smith winds up being released from
I
custody,
feel like Mr. Smith is on his own
matters
personal phone.
continues on probation before this court, that the likely resolution would be a concurrent term of probation on this. I don't foresee any real issues. I don't know if my thought was that Mr. Dobie was actually prosecuting this case. I don't know if Ms. Tink is handling this one as well, but
Ooh, you tink.
I don't think it's appropriate to try and resolve this case until we have a better idea what's going to happen on the more serious matters.
He hasn't moved.
Did you want to weigh in on this, Ms. Tink?
Actually, I'm not the prosecutor who's going to be trying this case. I was just going to handle the
Brian,
pre-trial today.
maybe.
I
Okay.
believe it is Mr.
Just haven't
Dobie
been
who will
caught
be
yet.
handling this case.
So we'll put this one over
I'm
to
gonna
the
do a GoFundMe page to
17th
get her
as well at 1:30,
Honorable,
correct?
nice American flag.
Yes, please, Your Honor. And I did
I was
speak to
thinking the
Mr.
same
Dobie
thing. That's a
about this
very
case yesterday,
sad
and
flag back there.
He was in agreement that tracking the CSC matters was the appropriate course.
Okay, so all of them are
Good,
set
good.
for
Good to see you.
1:30
Been a
on
while.
March 17th.
Glad you're
So
here.
we'll see you back here then, Mr. Lewis. Anything further for today?
Nothing
Nothing
from the
for me,
people.
Judge.
Nothing from me, Your Honor. Thank you.
I didn't mean to step on anybody, but nothing for me. And have a great day, everybody.
You too, take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
He,
Uh-huh.
Christopher Sinclair seems like a really sweet dude, by the way. Like a really nice guy.
2259.
Uh-oh, Michael's up.
Michael Dobie for the people.
Oh,
Good
good.
afternoon, Your Honor. Robert J.
Hey,
Kilwell,
Barry
on behalf
from
of Mr.
Storage Wars
Little.
is here.
Michael, would you unmute yourself and state your name for the record?
Michael?
Michael, this is your time to shine, bud.
He broke out of
Michael
prison.
Little,
He's
can you
actually
hear
got
us?
there.
Has he signed in, Ms. Bachman?
You're
Yes,
not-
Your Honor, he's here. He's in custody within DOC, so I'm asking them to
Oh,
unmute the
yes.
device.
Okay,
He's in Lakeland, Your Honor. I've had a breakout room with him. Mr. Dobie's made an offer he wants to take advantage of.
Good point.
Uh-oh.
okay,
Plea deal.
so what will,
Plea
oh,
deal.
good, the device is unmuted. Mr. Little, can you hear us?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so why don't you tell me what you've agreed to, counsel?
Mr. Dobie, you want to place that on the record?
Yes, Your Honor. The defendant will plead guilty as charged. The people agreed to a sentence agreement of 3 years to 20 years MDOC to run concurrent with his the sentence he is serving now out of Monroe County. That sentence agreement is at the bottom of what we believe the guidelines to be.
That's correct. That's correct, Your Honor. We believe the guidelines are
What do you
36
think
to
Brian's
60
doing?
months. I've explained that to my client. He wants to take advantage of that, Your Honor, and he's ready to proceed. We've had a breakout room and discussed it all.
What did
Okay.
Michael do?
What
Mr.
is a
Little,
breakout
please
room?
Raise your right hand to be
On
sworn.
Zoom, that's where like you and I
Swear
could break out
Ah.
from this
You're
and go
about to
talk
give
to
will be
each
the
other,
truth,
not
the whole
on.
truth,
Gotcha.
and nothing but the
Gotcha.
truth.
Gotcha.
Yes.
He must have done something
Say your name
bad.
For our record.
No, Keaton.
Michael Little.
Brian is not good.
Mr. Little, did you hear the statements that the attorneys just made?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand
did.
them?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you want to enter a plea in accordance with those agreements?
Yes,
3 to
ma'am.
20 years.
And counsel, do you have any objection to proceeding by Zoom today?
Did they say what he
Your Honor.
did?
No, Your Honor.
Not yet.
What he's
And
in for?
Mr. Little, do you?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
They should present the
So
facts of
I
the
need
case here in a
to
second.
advise you, sir, that count one, delivery or manufacture of methamphetamine, a controlled substance, is a felony punishable by up to 20 years and or $25,000.
Breaking
And
Bad.
unless you're sentenced to more than a year in prison, there would be
When
license
she said meth,
sanctions
Brian's
under the
ears
law.
perked up.
There are a number of rights that you'd be giving up if you enter this plea. You have a right to a trial by a jury or by the court if all parties agree. You have the right to be presumed innocent and to have the prosecutor prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have witnesses against you appear at a trial and to see, hear, and question those witnesses. You have the right to call witnesses to testify, and you can ask that the court order that witnesses appear for your trial. You have the right to remain silent and not have your silence used against you. And you also have the right to testify if you so desire. But if you enter this plea, Mr. Little, you would waive all of those rights. We wouldn't have a trial, and the prosecutor wouldn't need to prove any of these allegations. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And
like what you
have
did
you
there.
had sufficient time to consult with Mr. Killawald about what to do here today?
Yes, ma'am.
So
you have a
at the
trial, right? I
time
mean,
of
that's a
this offense,
serious
were you
charge.
on probation or parole?
No.
Are there any potential immigration consequences, counsel?
Not
Immigration.
that I'm aware of.
No, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Little, are you doing this of your own free will?
Yes, ma'am.
Has anybody threatened or coerced you in any way to get
Who's
you
black?
to enter
Yeah.
this plea today?
No, ma'am.
Has anybody made any promises or inducements to get you to do so?
No, ma'am.
Are counsel aware of any threats or promises not on the record?
No,
No,
Your
Your
Honor.
Honor.
So, Mr. Little, do you understand that once you enter the guilty plea, you wouldn't be able to argue to a court of
No,
appeals
Brian's on
that
the move
pleading
again.
was not of your own free will?
Yes, I understand.
And you couldn't tell them that there were some threats or promises that we didn't talk about here today?
Understood.
And do you also understand that you'd be giving up
You
your right
definitely
to
were.
a direct appeal to the Court of Appeals? So if you wanted to
Watching
appeal
Brian is
from
kind of like
either your
watching
conviction
one
or
of
your
Jamie's
sentence, you would have to ask
videos.
permission from
Lives.
that other court, and we have no way of knowing what their response would be.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
And
Robert's
finally,
definitely a
you would
public
be
defender.
waiving your right to appeal any issues that might have been
lot of
available to you at
awards,
the
though.
conclusion of a trial, because we
Very
won't have
crooked
a trial,
awards.
understood?
Yes, ma'am.
And knowing all of those things combined, do you still want to enter this plea today?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge,
So-
may I
yes.
voir dire my client?
Certainly.
Michael, on or about August 18th of 2020, were you driving on Ford Boulevard and near Holmes Road in Ipsy Township in the county of Washtenaw?
Yes, sir.
And that vehicle you were driving, were you exceeding the speed 35-mile-an-hour speed limit at the time? And that vehicle have a cracked windshield?
Yes, sir.
And you were pulled over by the police, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you consented to the police officer searching your vehicle?
Yes, sir.
And the officers found drugs and paraphernalia in your vehicle?
Yes, sir.
And you admitted to the police that you were being paid $500 to
Straight up.
deliver those drugs, is that correct?
Plead
Yes,
guilty.
sir.
Do you agree with the lab report dated?
Why didn't he get a
September
car that
2nd,
have a
2020
cracked
that the drugs
windshield?
found in your vehicle were methamphetamine?
That's what he needed
Yes,
the
sir.
500 for.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Because he couldn't call Safe
Clerk,
Light
satisfied.
Repairs, Safe Light Replace.
And you're
He's trying to,
satisfied,
so
Mr.
basically he's trying to
Kilowell?
claim he didn't
Yes, Your Honor.
manufacture it. He was just
Do you
delivering.
both believe that I've complied with the court rules?
Yes, Your
Yes,
Honor.
Your Honor.
I accept your plea. I find it to be knowingly, voluntarily, understandably, and accurately made. I can set your sentencing for March 10th. Is that agreeable, counsel?
She's got the sweet molasses of a mouth.
Yes, Your Honor, that's fine.
And-
I
Look at
believe my
his
client's
hair.
gonna be in Lakeland for that, for a while, so that should be good.
Ah, dummy.
Okay. And somebody will need to rid him for that
That's what it
hearing.
comes down to, Vinny.
And
Yeah.
I'll be
Insane.
asking you at the time of sentencing.
Anytime you're gonna
if
commit a
you're
crime
waiving
and
your
using a car, make sure
constitutional
it's
right
in
to
good
an
shape.
in-person sentencing. So you'll need to talk with your attorney about that right and whether you're waiving it prior to that time. The court does expect all monetary obligations
question.
to be paid at the time of sentencing. So anything further, counsel?
No, Your Honor, just let the court know that this incident happened before his legal problems started in Monroe County. So that's why we believe it can run concurrent, Your Honor.
I gotta find out what Brian
Okay,
did.
and do you want to be
I
present
know
for
I'm
that
invested.
probation interview, Mr. Killawald?
I assume that's gonna be done by Zoom?
Your Honor, I actually wanted to ask, and I'm sorry to
Oh
interrupt.
yeah,
Good
they'll bring the
point.
dogs out.
It's a good point, Carol. It's going to
Where's
happen.
the
if they-
defendant being housed at right now currently?
He's in the Lakeland Center in Coldwater.
But yeah, they're going to end up
Lakeland
doing. I mean,
Correctional,
if they
or is that
if
a
they have a
mental health
reason
facility?
to.
What's the Lakeland? I'm sorry, I don't know.
That's a level 2. That's a level 2 MDOC facility.
Got you. Okay, just making sure.
Your Honor, I think my client knows he doesn't need my help with this. He's just
Yeah,
gonna be
something
honest
weird
with
with
upfront. He's already
Facebook, you guys. And
admitted
stuff.
what he did, so I don't think there'll be any
Yeah, I don't know what's
issues. Is
going
that
on
right,
with it.
Michael? You can handle it yourself, just interview with probation?
Yes, I can handle it.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, anything further?
She is,
Your
but I
Honor.
like
Nothing from
her.
people.
So, Mr.
That's
Little,
all.
we'll see you back here on March 10th at 1:30. Take care.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Thank
Uh-huh.
She seems to be on a real even keel. as
That's
far
what I
as,
mean.
like,
She
her
seems
delivery.
comes off as extremely fair. Like, I mean,
Calling
and she,
supplemental
it
number
seems
one.
as if she's
People versus
listening to
Brian
everything too.
Gerard, 2185 FH.
Michael Dobie for the people.
Please.
I'm here.
Kenneth Overwater, Assistant Public Defender.
Hi,
on
Brian.
behalf of Mr. Gerard.
I'm here.
Okay, so Mr. Gerard, please raise your right hand to be sworn.
Do you
Hey,
swear or
Mary Lou.
affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
But of
Yes.
course,
Could you please state your name for our record?
Brian Matthew Gerard.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Gerard, there are
Serial
some
killer
new
name.
allegations
I'm
that
just gonna
got
say,
added to
Brian
the
Matthews.
probation violation
Gerald.
warrant that I previously arraigned you on, or someone did. And the maximum potential penalty is 5 years. You're entitled to a contested evidentiary hearing. The new allegations are in paragraph 1 that you failed to appear for a violation of probation hearing that was scheduled for January 20th, 2022. And number 4, which
Yeah, one
alleges
job.
that you failed to attend substance abuse counseling with community corrections after an assessment found you to be appropriate for attendance in the relapse prevention group. And it's
Brian,
alleged that
Brian.
you did not attend any sessions as scheduled. And I believe paragraphs 2, 3, and 5, he's already been arraigned
my
on.
pants.
So, Mr. Overwater, how do you wish to proceed?
Your Honor, my client would stand mute as to the new allegations and ask court to enter a plea of not
Second
guilty on
place
his
for
behalf at this
Terminator,
time.
God bless you,
Warrant
Kenneth.
remains outstanding for my client for that failure to appear, so I'd ask the court to recall that warrant now that he is here. With regard to that failure to appear, my client, in the days leading up to that, I wasn't able to get a hold of him. I
He was
don't
getting
know
new
if there
glasses,
was,
Your Honor.
an issue with his phone or what was going on, but he spoke to another attorney in my office who was representing him on a misdemeanor matter. And that attorney told him that he needed to appear in court on February 9th, which was correct on that misdemeanor case. But he misunderstood and took that to mean that was the next time he actually had to appear in
I
court.
believe that.
And so he didn't appear on the
I think he's
20th.
easily
For our
confused.
case,
He
he
looks
reached out to
confused
me,
right now.
and I
Very.
asked your staff to put it on the call today so that warrant could be recalled. He has been in contact with his probation agent, Agent Mayo, and she did not object to putting it on the call today.
Agent
So I would
Mayonnaise.
just ask the court to do that, and then if we could
Mayo.
adjourn the probation violation hearing about a month. Mr. Gerard needs to connect with our social work division and sign some releases of information so we can get some verification of his current medical status.
Not good.
So that we can then use that to determine
Don't
what
need a doctor
conditions
for
of
that one.
probation remain appropriate and frankly possible for him to comply with.
Mr. Dobie.
I don't object, Your Honor. I know we've been adjourning the probation violation hearing since November to get some additional medical information so we can
Mr. Dobie
address
seems
all
kind of
these issues. I
soft.
don't know if that's really got to probation, but
You think you can kick his ass?
I think that just needs
Yeah,
to
I
be
think
our,
I can
our
take him.
goal here.
Real quick, we'll come right back to this. But look who made it.
My
Edward
man.
Youngblood is back.
Travel chief.
17th. I would like to get this finally to a conclusion. So hopefully you'll get the information you need so we can proceed one way or another on March 17th at 2:30.
Okay.
So that means that you need to sign back in by Zoom video for that hearing, Mr. Gerard, and keep in touch with Mr. Overwater. Okay?
Mr. Gerard, when you log off today, I want you to call the public defender's office at the main number and ask to speak to Ms. Williams. If she's not available, leave her a voicemail so that you two can connect and get the paperwork signed so that she can get these medical records that we need to resolve this, okay?
All right.
All right,
Tony was looking good for the judge. That's what I'm doing now.
Seriously, no surprise. No surprise with him. Well, we're kind of, we're at that point. I figured we'll jump back over to and finish up with Judge Kim here.
Good old Judge Kim.
Contact from Louisiana.
Edwin Youngblood having a nice snacky poo.
Carrie has been waiting a while in her car.
Good point.
I feel like Edwin Youngblood likes prunes. Delicious
Could
prunes.
be eating some of those wafers they give you at church.
Those are all the free crackers he has gotten every time he bought soup at a restaurant. He just saves them for later.
Is that Erica up there? Is she got a cold house, I think. She's all bundled up in her little or is she doing something underneath there with her hands?
Erica's
I mean, it's gonna go.
just not feeling it today.
And Lajara, or whatever his name is over there, is the third time he's on cleaning his glasses.
Just send me notice.
Cozy Matthews.
Either we call
Mathis is still here. Or
Good morning,
Matthews.
our guy.
Welcome.
Nice nap, or you slept
We're gonna
in.
do an inventory document soon.
Don't forget at 4:05 we got a chase triple play Thursday. Creed 3
Nice.
chases.
You have a parent here. All right, Demarion, if you're absolutely dangerous, the community promise will release you as well as a danger to yourself. I'm detaining you. Just let you know your court date is April 6th. That is a date where either you're going to have a trial or you're going to work out a deal. But one way or another,
Who's that? G-Pod?
April 6th,
G-Pod.
we'll know what's going to happen to you. Okay? Thank you, Demarion. Noah.
Noah's in the hospital.
This is Noah again.
Hello, thank you. Do you have a parent here for Noah?
Yes.
Yes. All right.
Carrie?
I think
I know,
so, yeah.
Judge Kim, this is a detention hearing. When a kid's brought to our facility, you have to see a judge within 2 days.
You
I
can
get to
say him
decide
every
whether you
10
stay
days.
or you
I know
go
that
home
much.
under supervision. If I let you go, then you have to see a judge if I keep.
While he's saying that real quick, over 90 of you here joining us. We appreciate you. Listen, we've gone 5 days a week now with We Got a Case. So come back 2 p.m., just so you know, except for Monday. And like, share, subscribe, notifications on, all that.
All right, so there's a arrest warrant out for you.
Uh-oh.
So January 18th, they were dispatched for assault, met with your mom.
Mom's was tripping, but I wasn't
Walking
freaking.
home from
Exactly. Just
school. No, not mom.
it
Victim's
was
mom.
Pamela.
Okay, victim said he was walking over to school, attacked by 4 other students. There were bruises, and he reported pain. 3 of the 4 back of the males, he knew him and could identify him, and provided Instagram video showed
Is that true?
the victim walking away,
What's
being chased.
H-Pod?
He, him.
Them.
And then you're one of the 4 suspects, either hit, thrown to the ground, or kicked.
Where's
the victim.
Erica?
Victim never fought back,
Where's she
and
going?
y'all only stopped when a vehicle drove by, began to honk its horn.
401. That's not very
So,
fair.
mom didn't even know that it was that bad until the video hit social media. You're one of the members of the Rundown gang.
Rundown gang?
Oh, damn. Jules, it was a lot of fun. We're gonna do it again. Maybe like a monthly thing.
So this is the
Call
4th
us.
one that they finally caught up with.
We enjoy
All right,
it.
Noah. Well, same thing for you as everyone else. I detained all of them. I don't like this criminal behavior, especially when you're acting in concert with other
Nice.
children.
Rundown gang.
So
I'm getting one from Amazon. I'm gonna show up.
to me, and I'm not going to release you, even though you don't have a history, just like none of your friends do. But
You do now.
decisions have consequences. But we'll see you in 10 days.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Destiny.
I guess if you're bad enough, they kind of make you almost wait
You have Judge Kim. There's a detention hearing. When it
10
gets
days,
started
no
in
matter
our
what.
facility, you have to see a judge
It
for
seems,
2
you know,
days
with
after
some of
you
these.
decide whether to keep you or to release you. If I keep you, you'll see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. And Mr. Youngblood has been appointed as your attorney.
Youngblood.
Blood.
My man. My man. Okay, so who's the young black male that just sat down?
H-Pod.
How about just
the
the young male that just sat down in H-Pod?
Daquan, are we boring you? Why are you stretching in court? Daquan?
Daquan?
Interesting.
Oh, hell, you done messed
Well,
up.
you just
now.
pissed off Judge Kim.
All right, Destiny.
I hate
Off
to
to
be
a good
Destiny.
start with Daquan.
Now Destiny's going to pay the price.
Yep.
Yesterday, 4th PD went to a domestic, met with your sister, said you were angry with her. She was cleaning the house, asked you for help. You got angry, pinned her to the bed, holding her down, causing pain.
Oh,
They
man.
told you to stop
Jesus.
since
Yes, I like that idea, Pamela. One of those big
when you say
strips.
she. So, Mr. Reyes, when you say she, is that she victim or she sister?
I'm covering your honor. She met the
Who's on probation? Is Destiny on probation or is the sister on probation?
no, your honor. Destiny's on probation.
Okay.
Damn
You
it,
said
Destiny.
that you were on probation for family violence, and you said you didn't care and you would kill her.
Oh, God.
And you said,
Destiny.
fuck the police and the law.
Oh, excuse me, Judge.
And and the law.
No F's given by Judge Kim.
Victim tried to get up, and when he twisted her arm, causing pain, and exit apartment.
Damn, that's a big bottle of water.
Yeah, Lisa's going
Lisa-
ham with a big bottle of water.
Lisa can handle it.
She don't like no
You
Dasani.
started kicking the police, fighting and kicking the police officer. They told you to stop or you'd be tased. You did not comply, so you were tased.
Oh, nice.
So then you were handcuffed, transported.
Can we see the body cam?
You started kicking the glass in the police car. You were told to stop or you'd be pepper sprayed. You stopped kicking, but then started spitting in the back seat. You were told to stop or you'd be put in a spit mask. You were cursing, coughing the officer a bitch, and continued to spit. So they put a spit mask on you, transported to
She's got the
JPS,
full service.
cleared, and brought here.
She's a fine young girl.
So the court ordered you to live with grandparents because we weren't comfortable. I wasn't comfortable with you going back to live with your sister.
Are we talking about F-Pod?
Yeah, F-Pod.
Oh, I'm
This is
thinking we're
Destiny.
talking.
Oh no, we're talking about Destiny over here.
Oh,
You return to your mom's home on your own.
pay attention,
So
Creed.
our probation officer told you that you need my approval. You're supposed to enroll in public school, and you said you will not go to school.
She said F school.
And F the police. I wish we had that little clip thing so we could clip him saying F
Edwin.
the police, by the way.
How quickly can you be ready for a voco?
The quality of this connection is not great. How quick can I do what?
No, for a motion to modify hearing on this.
Next week is a bear, but the week after.
So let's say
A
the
bear, like
second
a
week
big
of
guy,
March.
real hairy like Knox.
Now, let
It's
me
a bear next week.
calendar going here.
Just a little,
A little
okay.
bit.
Maybe.
She's in big
Allegedly.
trouble.
Allegedly had slight injury.
This might not work out well for Destiny.
Maybe.
First to second week of March.
At present, the second week is better than the first, and you've got me for two things on the 9th.
My man.
Okay.
In the afternoon. Maybe they might be detention hearings, but whatever. I'm going to be around. I'm clear in the morning, that morning as well.
On the 9th?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
No, I
Stephanie's
was
going to try and
talking
look at it,
about
and we'll try and
bears,
make it bill on the 9th. If it does, great. If it doesn't,
They are
then
big.
she'll contact you about another
Hairy.
day. Destiny, at this point,
Look it
when
up
you're
on
not
hey,
living where I'm telling you to live, you're warned and you do it anyways. You give our probation officer attitude.
She does what she
then
wants.
That tells
Completely
me
nude.
all I'm asking for you is an A in attendance and an A in attitude. And you're failing both of those. So we're just gonna have a hearing to decide whether or not you violated your probation. It is a felony offense. If I find that you have violated your probation, then I have the option of sending you to the Texas Juvenile Justice Department for a
Which you are.
commitment.
which you're probably
an
going to be at
option.
anyways.
So we're gonna take this
no matter what.
take care of this pretty quickly because I don't think probation's working out for you. Do we have a parent here for Destiny?
They're going to
No,
revoke
Your
her
Honor, she called and
probation.
said that she was not able to get off work.
I understand.
I wouldn't get off work either.
Her mom called and
Your
said, "Fuck
Former
Destiny, I'm not
prosecutor
coming in
and me
there."
They have about
Done
7
with her.
witnesses, so this will be an all morning or all afternoon event, I would think.
It could be, or it could just be the fact that she wasn't living where she was supposed to be living.
They could amaze me in focus, I
What
suppose.
do you, when they say, "Oh, she should be
Mr.
living
Wen,
with
are
her
you still here?
grandparents," I feel like the grandparents are old and feeble
Mr.
and
Wen, if
shouldn't
you
be
go
having to
ahead,
put up with this bull crap.
This belongs to Desmond aside. Can y'all please, can you tell Kevin to go ahead and file the motion modify if you're going to? File it quickly.
Let him know.
All right, thank you. All right, Destiny, you're being detained. Thank you. Next, we have Daquan.
I was ready for her to start going off, weren't
All right,
you?
well, I'm not gonna stand. This is a detention hearing. When the kid's brought in, you have to see a judge within 2 days. You have to decide whether to keep you, release you.
Daquan's already made a bad impression.
While you're here.
I made that
Otherwise,
mistake
it sounds
too,
like
God. I
your
was thinking it was
Lofton is your attorney.
Daquan.
He couldn't make it today, so Mr. Hall is going to step in, and so you were
Yeah.
brought in.
Let's see what he did.
New case for robbery.
We were all
Well, let's
disgusted by that display of behavior. We apologize, our guy.
New case.
October 26th. Females operating a golf cart. They all took off, told to stop.
Golf cart.
They were identified. You as one of them. You were charged with trespass, evading arrest. And you were listed as a runaway.
Oh my goodness.
There was a case for a robbery.
Run,
7-Eleven,
run away.
stealing a bicycle from a
I was going to say, I swear that Destiny was around with the mother the other day.
Yeah.
Now this
I
is the
remember
dude
when she
with the-
stood up, I remember her from behind.
This is one of the ones that I didn't want to. I think it was Mr.
She had a
Medic
big behind.
or Ashley. Maybe it was you that y'all said take a chance on him.
This is the stolen bicycle from the other day.
I guess that was our mistake. So, Daquan, I didn't want to let you go before. I wish I hadn't, but it is what it is. Do we have a parent here for Daquan?
Yes.
Hello, Mr. Mathis.
Mr. Cozy.
Mr. Mathis, I genuinely, father to father, appreciate what you're doing. I think you're doing an outstanding job. I think you're communicating with us. You're providing supervision. I just think Daquan is refusing to accept your supervision.
I agree.
I don't know, honestly, from what I can see, I don't know if there's anything more you can do as a father for your son if he was refusing to take your advice as a father. It
Why don't we
seems
send
like
these
you're
kids to boot camp?
trying to correct, make it so
Right.
he doesn't make mistakes, but
Or
it
the
seems like
dog
he's
farm.
insisting on learning on his own.
I agree.
So, Mr. Mathis, much respect to you. I really appreciate you. I'm detaining your son because I just don't think he's going to listen to you. Okay.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
If I'm not
Josiah.
mistaken, the father did have some nice words last time, did he not?
Mm-hmm. He
And-
did.
Yeah.
The nicest I've ever heard it seem to me.
By the way, we're going to do a dating game. Here's our next
they
two
really
contestants.
like
for this dating game.
Betty and Darius.
Yeah, I think the judge.
Love is in the air, and so are turtlenecks. And this is a good look at the face
prosecutor,
of his
the
next date.
probation officer.
Look into my
I think
eyes.
everybody write these notes saying, "Hey, no, you not wanting to do what you want to do. It's not nothing in this particular situation."
Only because we got Chase coming up. I gotta say, we'll do. You want to do one more? We got time for one more. You mind?
I mean, yeah, we're fine.
All right.
We'll just basically be going from this to the next
I
one.
reached out to
That's right.
his probation officer.
Elizabeth is back. Miss Tibbs.
You're Josiah?
Yes, sir.
I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing.
Nice to meet you.
So when a child's brought in, you have to see a judge within 2 days. Have to decide whether to keep
And I would
them.
imagine down there in the
You'll see
parent
everything
room would be
You have the right to
Josiah's
remain silent. You have the right to
mama.
Mr. Mesa has been hired as your attorney. Good
I'm
afternoon.
guessing.
Edward?
Good afternoon, Judge.
All right. So Josiah, let's see, 16 years old. You've been here,
Is this attorney like
here last
in a
August
rumpus
for
room somewhere?
violence case.
Cheap hotel?
Mm-hmm.
November of last year, Arlington PD brought you in for an assault.
Uh-oh.
Talked with Dad, said you're arguing about with you, your friends about you smoking weed. You got upset, punched him in the face. Dad didn't fight back since he had a closed head injury.
Oh, must have
Kept
got
on
a good
hitting
hit in.
Dad in the chest and head.
It only took one.
He hit you with a coffee mug. Sister witnessed it.
Coffee mug.
But she said, Dad hit you first. Sister was on a FaceTime call with your mom. Mom said that your dad started the fight and asked the police not to detain.
Do you think it just went like side across the face with a coffee
What'd you
mug?
say, boy?
Fourth,
Sit your ass down.
there's a referral from August on a domestic. Met with Dad. Said that Dad and sister started messing with each other. No, you and your sister started messing with each other by throwing drinks and food at each other. Dad said you grabbed sister, pushed her ground. Dad got angry at you. Got in between, raised your hand. And both started to push each other, so you punched your father in the head. Both fell to the ground, kept on fighting, so you got up and ran away.
This is quite a fight.
Yeah.
Now in February, Arlington Police brought you in. Bowie
Then you
Hospital,
attempted a full Nelson.
SRO was notified about 4 possible non-students. 4 people took off running, detained in the parking lot, or just west of the parking lot. You were searched, found a vape pen with THC oil in it. So you're looking at felony possession of a controlled substance.
Felony possession
Yeah.
for that?
Yeah. THC oil.
Damn.
The Earl.
So I'm assuming he's not enrolled in school, Mr. Mesa?
My
Straight
understanding
A's.
was,
Straight A's.
yeah, mom saying yes.
Mom, is he a student at Bowie?
Yes, sir, he is.
When was the last time he went?
Been a while.
So, Mom, how long has he been smoking weed?
I don't know. I just found out that he was smoking it yesterday when the
First
police
time.
officer at Bowie told me, and I have already been looking into getting him to counseling. So I can go ahead. I just started yesterday looking to
Counseling
get
for
him into
weed?
an academy or something to
The weed counselor.
get him to fix himself up.
Take him to Dr. Dre.
I'm sorry.
You want a piece of advice?
Yes, sir.
There is no counseling for marijuana that works.
I was gonna
There's
say.
not. Marijuana is a choice. It's not an addiction in the classical sense, like other drug addictions. So, Enter him in
WA.
but it's not gonna make a difference.
He's got to stop
When he
wanting.
decides that he's
Weed
going to
Anonymous.
Get clean, he's gonna get clean. When he decides not to, then he's gonna keep on smoking. So, all right. Now, here's the thing, Mom. I had talked to you at a detention hearing back in November of last year. And I asked you if you wanted us to give him a drug test, if you thought he smoked weed, and you told me no.
Right.
Why would you say no?
So
I'd say
you've
sure.
been
Why
in
not?
denial
That's
now
what's
for 2
happening.
months.
No, I know now from yesterday when they told me, I know now that he was using it, and that's why I'm saying I want him to go to some type of counseling or something, and I want him to clean himself up. I know he's a good kid and he will change.
So when he's around school running from the police with drugs on campus, you still think he's a good kid?
I love when
Yes,
Judge
sir.
Kim
He
does
was
this.
he's just around the wrong
place,
places,
wrong
the
time.
kids.
Everybody
I'm
else's
willing
problem.
to change him to a different school.
Not him.
get
But
him
whose fault is that? That
It's
he's
some
around
other
all-
kids.
It's his. I mean, it's his and mine as well. I mean, I can't be with him, but he's at school.
How's
but
it her fault?
If I have to, I will be. If I have to be with him, to make him go to school, I'll be there. I'll drop him off and I'll pick him up or whatever I have to do.
I remember when I was in school, they had parents that would go to class with the kids.
You should have known
Really?
Yeah.
for months now that he was using drugs, and you did nothing
Thank you, PJ. We'll
because
see you
he's a
soon.
good kid, right?
But I didn't find out. I just found out yesterday that when they told me he had that
And
card.
I offered to give him a drug test back in November, and you refused.
Right.
He's not easing up on that.
Right. So you could have
I
known
told
that.
you
then.
so.
The fact that you didn't know for the last 3 months, that's
Confused as to who to hang around with. Please.
like, I gave you that chance. It would have been free. But you refused it because you were in denial. 'Cause it's, honestly, Mom, you're enabling your son.
I thought you were going to say you're an
Creating an
idiot.
environment where
See what I
he's
mean?
breaking the law.
He likes to give advice. He likes to go that extra mile, Judge Kim does, and it kind of bites him in the ass once in a while, I think.
So are there any other family
But I
members
like
that
it.
can take possession of Josiah?
Yes.
Because a lot of these people need that.
My
The
cousin-
parents do.
Where does your cousin live?
In White Settlement.
You made her cry.
White Settlement.
Your cousin willing to take possession of your son?
Yes, here she is.
Oh.
So what
Possession.
I want to do then is, Mr. Lahara, you want to talk to the cousin, explain to her what her responsibilities will be, what her duties will be, including ensuring his return to court.
Okay.
And that if she does not return him to court, then we will issue a warrant for the cousin to sit in jail for not bringing the children.
I'll make
But
that
Mr.
clear.
Meza, at this point, Mom is not providing supervision. She is absolutely enabling her son and causing the problem. Even after I specifically told
You're a
her
bad
that
mother.
counseling doesn't work, she's still insisting on counseling. She doesn't get it. And frankly, I don't think she would even do the counseling part or ensure his attendance at school.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
I think we just need a different adult to be responsible for this child.
Oh.
At this point in his life.
We need an adult.
Mr. Meza, I'm okay releasing him. If cousin doesn't work out or
Jesus.
she doesn't want the responsibility, I'm open to any other responsible adult. I just don't put Mom as part of that list.
Wow.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Your Honor.
So Josiah, just to let you know what's going on. I'm not releasing your mom because she enables you. And you have not had accountability in your life. I don't think you belong here. I just can't in good faith release you to your mother who's not going to provide supervision for you.
Wow.
So your point, what you need to do from here is you need to get your behavior level to level 1 outstanding. That will open the door for me to release you to another.
I mean, she's sitting there crying, but
That's a hard one to take. I
No,
mean,
stay here.
I understand.
All right. Thank you, Josiah.
Thank you, Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
So
she should have saw it coming. I mean, he's been in trouble before. The judges 3 months ago tried to get him to get some drug testing.
that's the thing. Like, I automatically thought, man, he's being really hard on her. But I see he kind of gave her a chance before, probably had the same talk with her. And she comes back and says, yeah, the counseling.
He's doing good, Judge.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
He's a confused boy.
It's the other ones. I'm pretty sure that got through to her. Guys, we're a little over time, which is no problem with that. A lot of fun as always on our one of our new favorites. We got a case. 5 days a week now. We're gonna see how that goes.
5 big ones. So make sure you're there for all of them.
Yeah. We'll be back. We got a chase. Mikey said a true
Triple play Thursday,
There you
Credence.
Can't get
So
it
make
right.
sure you're here for that. And if you haven't already liked this video, think about doing it and then do it. If you want to do us a kind favor, share this over on your Facebook. Tell a friend, tell them all. And until next time, Credence, when we step through these halls of justice and look Lady Liberty in the eye. What was that? There we go. Much better. Please remember.
That's it. No fart noises.
No, okay. Yeah, I'll bail us out.